So I have been trying since September 2023, September 20th of 2023, to figure out what to do with this. This is gonna sound crazy. I get it. I'm well aware. Um, but I'm just at a point where I I feel like I have to do this. So on that day, something happened to me, and I was planning a little golf outing with my boys for the next day, getting ready to just roll out, just living my life like normal, dude. Just, uh, it was weird. I had this infection in between my toes. I was trying to make sure that my foot was going to be okay for golfing and stuff. And I just got off the phone with one of my homeboys, and I'm like, I came inside. Now, mind you, I've always believed in Jesus. I have. It's just been ever since I was a kid. Something did not click that we evolved from primordial mud. It's just your eyeball, the reproductive system, our hearts, our vein, our intravenous system. Everything is just so complex. And that's just the human body I'm talking about, let alone the fact that we're sitting on a rock out in the middle of nowhere and it's absolutely perfect where it has to be. There's this big flaming ball of fire that sustains life. There's this other ball that sits up there and it keeps the tides from overflowing and killing everybody. If we were off by an inch, we'd be dead. So, anyway, I've always believed. But this day, dude, you know, I just happened to be sitting there and I looked over at my Bible and I went into this crazy moment of doubt. And I'm like, dude, you know what? Is this really what I believe? Is this really what I want, like to live the rest of my life for at this point? Because I just had this doubt that I'm like, and it crept in like maybe I just need to forget this and start thinking about, what I'm going to do with the rest of my life, blah, blah, blah. Not that I was like over the top, like holier than thou type dude or anything. I was living my life, like I said, playing golf, drinking beer, just chilling. Um, but I happened to look at my Bible, dude, and I don't, man, listen, the best way I can describe it is a near death experience, but also what Paul went through, his experience with Christ, with Jesus Christ. I was knocked backwards. I did the death reach that they call. I remember doing that. There it's so hard to explain and I know it sounds crazy, but he showed me how his word had been surrounding me my entire life and how it had, I mean, it was just crazy. And I don't know how long it went on, but I know that 3 different times I was laid prostrate by this light unlike I had ever experienced, and I knew it was him, and there was laughter, and there was joy, and there was peace and love, and the only thing that was audible, like, there was a lot of things that were conveyed to me, but the only things that were audible were, "You will trust me." And then at the very end, "Bear witness." And I've been sitting here for 3 years almost, like, wondering what to do. Now, mind you, okay, so what's even crazier than that is that that was the first of 3 experiences. During this experience, one of those parts was as I was seeing this light, all of a sudden I also was aware of the blackness, the darkness that is part of me, part of everybody, the sin that is this world. I mean, it's just the ruler of this world is Satan himself. Look around and tell me if that ain't true. But I could see this blackness. I was like sinking into it, and he was grabbing me and pulling me out. Now, again, I had there was things that actually happened that I was remembering, like I knocked a picture off the wall, stuff like that. I was being when that light came, I was being thrown. Yet I had not a scratch on me, nothing like that. But anyway, so during that one, you will trust me and bear witness. It took me days to even be able to get to want to be. I was so mad, not mad, but I was so disappointed that I was still here, dude. I mean, I did not want to be here. Like, if you compare that to this, I didn't want to be here. So anyway, the next one was February 11th of 2025. During this one, there was a light and a dark moment. The light moment, whenever that light is there, you have no concept of how long it is. I couldn't tell you. The only thing uh that I remember of the light, I was bawling again, thrown on my face on the floor of my kitchen, bawling, saying, "To whom do I owe this? To whom do I owe this?" And it was clear, obviously, I owe this to Jesus Christ. And then all of a sudden at 1:11 p.m., it kind of, he didn't say it, it was very clear there was going to be something very, very bad, a struggle that I was going to have to go through. And it was in the future. I didn't know what was going to happen, anything like that. Um, but I was going to have to endure it. And again, going back to the first one, um, he told me that I would trust him, but right after he made it aware that, okay, you're about to face something you've never experienced and it's going to be brutal, from 1:11 until 3:27 p.m., that entire time was confusion unlike anything. I couldn't walk, I couldn't move. I was clamoring trying to get my brother on the phone to pray for me. I couldn't even move, nothing. And unlike the light where you have no idea how long it is, every second felt like an eternity. And it was confusion, blackness, horrible, and it was the sin side of it, the reason that he had to come. And at 3:27 p.m., I had to be to pick my son up from his school. I had to be there at 3:35. He gets out at 3:35 at that time. It was 3:27, and for hours, for like 2 hours, I was aware, but I couldn't move. I couldn't do anything. But I was aware that the clock was ticking, and I was just thinking, how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? During both of these experiences, by the way, I actually did get a hold of my brother in the middle of them. I I still, he's a believer, but again, even believers look at me like I'm crazy when I say this, and I'm aware. I did not think that this stuff was real. I did not believe in it. I did not believe that he still did these things. I did not. And I would look at myself and think that I was crazy. But anyway, at 3:27 p.m., after these hours of just suffering and struggling and trying to figure out, all of a sudden the words came to my mind, "You will trust me." And I got up off the floor, literally off the floor. My brother's still on the phone. It's on the floor next to me. He has no idea what's happening to me. I just say, "Hey, bro, I gotta go get Micah. I'll be right back." I got my keys, drove up to the school, went and got him, and I was fine from then. Right after the words came back, "You will trust me," I was experiencing the sin side, the reason that Christ had to come. So lo and behold, And like I said, I had 3 of these experiences. But remember how I said during that second one, it was made very clear to me that something I was going to go through, something that I didn't understand. At the very end of July 2025, um, another one of my friends had passed, which was bad enough in itself, but because I've lost a lot of friends. But right after his funeral, I got as sick as I've ever been. Um, I lost 50 pounds over a month, and what it was, I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis. Um, I had no idea what ulcerative colitis was at the before then, but I lost 50. I went from 185 pounds down to 137. I had 2 different hospital stays of over a week, and in between those hospital stays, after the first one, I had lost so much blood that the reason I went to the hospital again the second time because I was actually going to my appointment, and the lady looked at me and said, "Oh my God, you have to go to the hospital now." And I was like, "Dude, I'm here for my appointment, like." And she's like, "No, you got to go to the hospital." And I went, and sure enough, I had 3.9 liters of hemoglobin in my body when you're supposed to have 11 or 12. So I had essentially 1/3 of the blood you're supposed to have in your body, but I didn't die. And when I got out of the hospital, August 22nd of 2025 was the third and final experience. And that was, I thought I was dying, and I was laying on my couch, and that light that I told you about, I thought was coming to get me. My dog was barking. He was right. I got a huge 100-pound um, American bulldog. Um, anyway, he was right next to me, barking his face off, but it sounded like it was miles away, because I thought I was dying. I thought I was going, and I I I didn't. Again, I was extremely disappointed. I know that sounds strange, but dude, this when you're talking about the light of the Holy Spirit of Christ, wowza. The only reason I'm even saying this is because I've been sitting here for years. So I've been in my house ever since I got diagnosed with ulcerative colitis too. Um, I'm doing a lot better now. I gained like 20 some odd pounds back, but my social life and everything is gone. Like I don't have that anymore. And it's partly because I've been very sick, but also a part of me, it's because I've been trying to figure out, what am I supposed to do with what God has shown me? How do I say that to people? What do you say to people? So I'm just I, because I feel like, there is so much stuff going on with the world. If and let me tell you something. I know that Jesus Christ is alive. I know that without a doubt now. But I'm also very aware of what is happening in the world, and the fact that we're almost exactly 2,000 years from the date that he was crucified. We're 78 years since Israel became a nation. We have AI now, which the first time ever in history, the things in Revelation can be fulfilled, and they've never been able to. One world currency, all this stuff. It's stuff that was written in the Bible, but it sounded like hogwash because it was impossible to do, and now it's possible. And not only that, it's happening. So I feel compelled to say something, to bear witness, as he told me. I realize it's gotten dark in this video because I'm sitting in my room and I'm just on my phone and the sun is going down. But dude, um anyway, here I am. I know I'm an ugly mug, but I've been really struggling with what I'm supposed to do with this. And not only that, I so want to live my life for the Lord and be and serve people and tell people about the truth, that we are not primordial mud. We were made for a purpose, baby. And that purpose is Jesus. He is worthy to be praised. He is worthy. And I just hope that somebody somewhere will watch this and then not think I'm a total lunatic. I mean, I'm crazy. I get that, but I'm sane. And I've always been a very sociable person. Um, you know, I've always been a little bit worried about what people are going to think about this, ever since it happened. I've told a few people, and every one of them looks at me like I'm crazy. I get it. I do. I get it. But I'm telling you, man, with the things that are going on right now, there is a reason that that happened. He is pouring out, just like, okay, this is also from the word. In those days, I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your young men will prophesy, and your old men will see visions. And, but, dude, there ain't no other explanation. There isn't. Exactly. It could. Okay, think about if it was an aneurysm. Right when I just happen to be going through the biggest doubt of my life, right when I ask myself, is this what I believe? I'm just blown away by the whole. Strange time for an aneurysm. Also, very strange things to be seeing during said aneurysm. It's just crazy. There is a purpose, peeps. There is a purpose. I am not a scholar. I am not a theologian. I'm not a pastor. I'm nothing like that. I'm just a dude who was called by grace, not by my works, not by who, because I'm some good dude. Jesus Christ called me, and that's what he does. He calls his people. So if you know, then start seeking, because what he does is he'll start working on you and you're not really sure what's up. Open the word, because the word is truth, and that's where you're going to find him. Um, Man, I highly doubt anybody's ever going to watch this, but if they do, um, yeah, why would I make something up like that so that people can call me crazy? Yeah, I mean, but I have to do it. I have no other way to say it. I have to. So much love, grace and peace. Look to the word, because the word became flesh and dwelt among us, baby. And his name is Jesus Christ, and he is alive and he is returning. It's a true story. It's a matter of fact. It's going to happen. I don't know when. I just know that the world is lining up in strange ways that it never in throughout human history. The things that were written in the word of, especially the book of Revelation, were not possible. All of a sudden they are. All of them are. And they're happening. So much love. Seek Jesus. He says, I'm at the door. I'm at the door. Just seek him and he'll come through. Much love.